Hi, thank you for being here. Today's practice will work a lot into the hips through different postures like standing splits, malasana, low lunge, and variations of that. We will be moving kind of all around the mat, so if you want to use blocks, you can go ahead and do so, but just know that you'll be moving them back and forth. Otherwise, I'll offer modifications if you don't have blocks or prefer not to use them for this practice. This class is also invitational, so if something doesn't feel good or supportive for what you need or want today, I invite you to please find some movements that would feel better or more supportive instead. With that, we'll go ahead and get started in Supta Baddha Konasana. So you can make your way onto your back. Soles of the feet will come together and knees can fall open. Let your hands fall wherever they want, maybe on the ground, or your belly, or your heart. Once you feel a bit settled here, you can begin to close down your eyes or soften your gaze. And from here, begin to draw your awareness towards your breath. So maybe first drawing your awareness to about the size of your yoga mat. And then drawing it in to about the size of your body. And then keep drawing your awareness further inwards until it lands on your breath. Maybe you can sense the rise and fall of your belly with every inhale and exhale. Taking a moment to notice where you feel your breath right now without doing anything different. And then on your next inhale, seeing if you can fill up even more through the belly and the heart, and sending your breath 1 inch lower into your belly. And then on your exhale, letting it all go as your belly softens even closer towards your spine. And so work like this, continuing to deepen your breath. So as I said before, we'll be working a lot into the hips throughout this practice. And the hips are associated sort of with the sacral chakra, or this energy center kind of at the top of our pelvis. And this is associated with our creativity and passion and our sexuality, our sensuality. And it often can hold a lot of emotions or memories for us. And so I invite you throughout this practice to keep noticing what is being brought up for you and getting curious about it. And that curiosity makes room for a sense of non-judgment, for a sense of compassion. But we'll keep returning to this, to noticing whatever it is that is arising, and then to be curious.
Continuing with this nice deep breath, on the next inhale, we'll extend our arms to either side out in a T. And with the exhale, we'll bring the left knee on top of the right, both knees pointing towards the right side for a little spinal twist. You can take your gaze towards that left hand. Next inhale opens us back up through Supta Baddha Konasana, and with the exhale, right knee comes on top of left. Option to take the gaze towards the right hand this time. Opening up across the top of the chest. Gently warming up the spine. Next inhale, legs come back through Supta Baddha Konasana, and with the exhale, using the hands to help close the legs, hugging them in towards the heart, little rock from side to side. Flexing out through the right foot, letting the left foot fall to the mat, knee pointing skyward. We'll come into a reclined figure 4, so right ankle crosses on top of the left thigh. Option to stay here, or for further sensation, beginning to draw that left knee in towards the heart, maybe interlacing fingers behind that left thigh. Sending your breath to areas of your body that might feel tight or tense. And continuing to flex through that right foot to protect the right ankle and knee. Next inhale, we'll gently release that foot, uncrossing the legs, and with the exhale, hugging them in, giving a little rock side to side. We'll take that on the left, so keeping the left knee hugged in, right foot falls to the mat, flexing that right ankle, or left ankle rather, crossing left ankle on top of right thigh. And staying here, or again, maybe drawing that right knee in towards the heart, and interlacing the fingers behind that right thigh. And as you lay here, maybe noticing for yourself if one side feels different than the other. That is often quite common. And continuing to breathe. Next inhale, right foot returns to the mat, and with the exhale, uncrossing the legs and hugging them in. This time we'll grab behind the thighs and giving a little rock up and down the length of our spine, maybe 3 or 4 times. We'll make our way into a tabletop position. So coming onto the palms and the knees. Fingertips are spread nice and wide. We'll move through some rounds of cat and cow. So as you inhale, the belly drops, the gaze lifts. And exhale to cat. Inhale to cow. Shoulder blades roll down the spine, opening the heart. The face stays soft. And exhale. Really curving out the spine, gazing inwards. So you can continue to move on your own breath here. If you'd like to invite any intuitive movement, you can go ahead and do so, so long as the breath continues to guide the movement. Maybe circling out the neck, the hips, flipping the fingertips in a few different directions, whatever would feel good for your body. There is no wrong answer. We'll be here for 3 more breaths. Coming back through neutral tabletop, we'll extend the right leg out, back, and behind us. Toes are tucked, giving a little rock forwards and backwards. Opening up through the bottom of that right foot, you might feel some opening across the top of the right thigh. And coming back into stillness, engaging through the core and the right glutes. We'll inhale, lifting the right leg off of the ground. It's okay if the foot is just hovering. We don't want to be dipping into our spine. We want to be nice and controlled, one long spine. The more you kick energetically through that right heel, the lighter that leg will feel. One more inhale here, and with the exhale, bringing the knee in towards the nose, rounding through the spine. 2 more like that. Inhale, kicking out through that right heel. And exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, kicking out. And exhale, bring it in. This time, inhale, kicking out. Holding here, I'll turn to face you so you can see a little better. With the exhale, we'll carry that right leg over towards the right side, releasing the right foot down, kind of like a one-legged tabletop position. From here, you can stay here, or you can begin to sink your hips back like a one-legged child's pose. Right leg is extended out long to the side, maybe resting your forehead onto the mat. The next inhale, we'll take the left hand out to the left side and lifting our hips, coming into a modified side plank. So we really want to think about scooping our hips underneath to really open through that right side body. Left fingertips are spread nice and wide. Wrist and shoulder are in line. The next inhale, again, we'll engage through those right glutes. We'll lift that right foot off of the ground. With the exhale, lowering it to hover. 2 more times. Inhaling, lifting that right leg. Exhale to hover. Inhale, lifting, and exhale, hover. This time we'll inhale that leg up, and with the exhale, bringing that knee in towards the armpit, grabbing underneath the right thigh. We'll carry that leg all the way to the top of the mat, coming into a low lunge. So right leg is forward. Taking a second to peek down that your knee and ankle are in line. And here we'll floss the hips a couple of times. So inhale as you let your hips sink forward and through. Exhale, coming back to a half split. Inhale, coming forward, Anjali-asana. Exhale, Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. 1 more time, inhaling forward. And exhale back. Inhaling forward, we'll walk the right foot out towards the right side, coming into a lizard. So both hands are planted inside that right foot. Option to stay here, or inhaling that right arm up. And with the exhale, taking it straight behind us. And again, option to stay here, or bringing that left knee in, or the left foot in towards the left glutes. And here, rather than grabbing on and letting that foot rest. See if you can keep it there with the strength of your glutes and hamstrings. So we're really waking up the legs. Continue drawing that in, that heel in towards those left glutes. One more inhale. With the exhale, lowering both hands down, stepping back, high plank. A couple of breaths here, building some fire in our core. Inhale, shifting forward, and as we exhale, elbows hugged in, lowering all the way onto the stomach, untucking the toes. Inhale, Bhujangasana, Cobra. Really squeezing the shoulder blades together. And exhale, lowering down, pressing through the palms, keeping the elbows hugged in. We'll lift back to a tabletop and take that same little sequence on the left. So left foot extends out, back and behind, toes are tucked, little rock forwards and backwards. Coming back through stillness, engaging the core, pressing evenly through the palms, squeezing those left glutes to lift that left foot off of the mat. Continuing to breathe. Inhale, growing light and long through that left leg. With the exhale, knee to nose, cat-like with the back. 2 more times like that. Inhale, kicking back. And exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, kicking back, still pressing evenly through the palms. And exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, kicking back. And this time, with the exhale, we'll carry that left foot out to the left side, releasing the left foot onto the mat, either staying here or sinking the hips back towards that right heel, kind of like a one-legged child's pose. Breathe wherever you land. And taking a moment to notice if anything has come up for you so far in this practice as we are warming up into the hips and the legs. And again, noticing and just being curious about it. The next inhale, we'll take that right hand out to the right side. We'll inhale, lifting the hips, coming into a modified side plank. Again, I'll turn to face you so you can see a little better. So right hand is planted, left leg is extended long on the mat. Really squeezing through the legs. The next inhale, we'll bring that left leg up. With the exhale, we'll lower it to hover twice more, just like that. Inhaling up. Exhale, hover. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, lowering. Inhale, lifting one more time. And with the exhale, bringing that knee in towards the armpit. You can hold on underneath that left thigh. With the exhale, we'll carry it to the top of our mat, coming into a low lunge, Anjalayasana. So it's a bit of a funky transition, so it's okay if it felt odd or uncomfortable. Just making your way into this low lunge on the left side. We'll floss our hips a couple of times. So inhale, dropping the hips forward and through. And with the exhale, walking the hands back, Ardha Hanumanasana. Inhaling forward. Exhaling back and really plugging that left hip back in line with the right. Inhaling forward. Exhaling back. This time we'll inhale forward and walking the left foot out towards the left side, coming into a lizard. Option to stay here or inhaling that left hand up and with the exhale extending it straight behind. Really spiraling the heart open as the right shoulder draws closer towards the midline. And again, either staying here or with the next inhale, beginning to draw that right heel in towards the right glutes and seeing if you can use the strength of the glutes and hamstrings to keep the foot here rather than holding on to it with the hand. So as much as we want to open the hips, we want to strengthen the hips as we do so. One more inhale here. With the exhale, releasing both hands to the mat, stepping back, high plank. Just one breath here this time. With the next inhale, shifting forward, and with the exhale, lowering onto the belly, untucking the toes. Inhale, Bhujangasana Cobra, really spiraling the inner thighs towards the sky. So thinking about pressing even more through the toenails. Lowering down, pressing through the hands. We'll make our way into downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. We'll take 2 breaths here. If you need to take any little movements, you can go ahead and do so. You can keep a nice bend in through those knees to help lengthen the spine. Pressing evenly through the palms, the next inhale, right leg lifts skyward. Exhale, bending the knee, open the hip. You can take little circles with that hip or ankle. Inhale, 3-legged dog, squaring off the hips. Exhale, knee to nose, hold for the inhale. And with the exhale, planting the right foot between the palms. High lunge with the legs. Next inhale, really dropping the hips forward and through, and with the exhale, straightening out through that right leg for modified pyramid. If you're using blocks, you can have your hands on blocks. If this is really intense on that right hamstring, staying high on that left toe will help. Otherwise, you can bring your hands to that right shin. But again, really thinking about plugging that right hip back in line with the left. We'll flow a couple of times. So inhale, dropping forward, bending through that right knee. Exhale, modified pyramid. Inhale, dropping the hips forward. Exhale, modified pyramid. This time bending through that right knee, walking the hands forward a step. We'll spring forward into standing splits. So left heel draws skyward. Upper body tipping forward off the pelvis. We'll be here a couple of times, so it's okay if this first standing split, the leg is a little bit lower. One more inhale here. And with the exhale, Shiva squat, left knee taps right calf. Inhale, L shape with the legs, nice long spine. With the exhale, slowly lowering, nice and controlled, left foot down, high lunge legs. Walking the hands over, coming into a right skandasana. Staying nice and lifted out of the pelvic floor. Next inhale, walking the hands over towards the left side for a left skandasana. And then continuing to walk the hands around, coming into a left lunge. So we're facing the back of the mat now. We'll inhale, coming into a modified pyramid on the left. Staying here for the exhale. Inhale, bending back through that left knee. Revolved lunge, left hand lifts towards the sky. And with the exhale, fallen lunge, all 10 toes pivot towards the left side, sinking the hips low. This is really intense on that left knee or hip, walking the left foot and back in line with that left knee. Inhale, pressing through the points of contact, lifting the hips away from the floor. And exhale, stepping back, high plank. Inhale, shifting forward, and with the exhale, lowering halfway or all the way. Inhaling up through cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. So anytime there's a vinyasa like that, you can take it or skip it, doing whatever is best for you and your body. We'll take one more breath here to reset. Next, inhale, three-legged dog, left leg lifts towards the sky. Exhale, bending the knee, open the hip. Circling it out. Inhale, three-legged dog, hips are square. Exhale, knee to nose, hold for the inhale. With the exhale, releasing left foot between the hands. Sinking the hips forward and through with the inhale. Exhale, beginning to straighten out through that left leg, modified pyramid. Inhale, high lunge legs. Exhale, modified pyramid. One more time, inhale. And exhale, modified pyramid. Inhaling back through high lunge legs, walking the hands forward a step, springing forward, coming into standing splits on the left. Using the strength of those right glutes and hamstrings to draw the left leg closer towards the sky. One more inhale here, and with the exhale, Shiva squat, right knee taps left calf. Inhaling L shape with the legs, really kicking through that right heel. Spine is nice and long. With the exhale, seeing how slowly you can lower the right toes back to the mat. Walking the hands around, coming into a left skandasana. And again, staying lifted out of the hips rather than dumping everything down. Really using the strength of the legs and the hips here. Walking everything over towards the right side, coming into a right skandasana. And then continuing to walk the hands back towards the top of the mat. High lunge legs with the right. Keeping the left hand planted, or both hands planted, coming into modified pyramid. The next inhale, keeping the left hand planted, we'll inhale the right arm skywards. With the exhale, fallen lunge, all 10 toes towards the right. Inhale, lifting the hips away from the mat. With the exhale, stepping back, high plank, moving through your vinyasa. We'll take 2 breaths here. We'll inhale, right leg towards the sky, 3-legged dog. Exhale, bending the knee, opening the hip. Inhale, three-legged. Exhale, knee to nose, hold for the inhale. Exhale, planting that left foot, or the right foot. Inhale here, hips sinking forward and through, and with the exhale, modified pyramid, straightening through both legs. Inhale, bending the right knee, walking the hands forward a step, coming into standing splits. Inhaling here, with the exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale, kicking out. L shape with the legs, and with the exhale, we'll make our way into standing, swinging that left leg through, knee towards the heart, stork pose. Growing nice and tall here, with the exhale, standing figure four, left ankle crosses on top of right thigh, sinking the hips back. And keeping that left foot flexed to protect the left ankle and knee. Inhaling back up, left knee towards the heart. With the exhale, making our way back into standing splits. Maybe playing with the balance a little here, seeing if you can let the hands hover off of the mat. And then releasing them whenever you're ready. Inhale, Shiva squats, really firing through the legs. Kicking back, L shape with the legs. How slowly can you lower them? Walking the hands through, coming into a right skandasana. Walking them over to the left skandasana, and continuing to make your way into a left lunge. Inhale, straightening out through that left leg, modified pyramid, hold here for the exhale. Inhale, keeping the right hand planted, left arm lifts skyward. And with the exhale, fallen lunge, all 10 toes pivot. Inhale, lifting the hips away from the mat, really cinching through that right waist. With the exhale, option for Ekapada Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. We'll all meet back in downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. 2 breaths here to reset. Inhale, left leg skyward, 3-legged dog. Exhale, bending the knee, open the hip. Inhale, 3-legged. Exhale, knee to nose, hold for the inhale. Exhale, planting the left foot. Inhale here. With the exhale, modified pyramid, straightening out as much as possible through both legs. Inhale, bending back through that left leg, walking the hands forward a step, standing splits. Right heel draws skyward. Inhaling here. With the exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale, L shape with the legs, nice long spine, really kicking energetically through that right leg to grow nice and long. With the exhale, we'll make our way into standing, swinging the right leg forward, coming into stork pose. Inhale, can you draw that right knee even closer towards your heart? With the exhale, standing figure four. Sinking the hips back. The weight is in the heel of that left foot. Inhaling back up. With the exhale, standing splits, maybe playing with the balance, seeing how long you can let the hands hover away from the ground before releasing them onto the mat. Inhale here. Exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale, L shape with the legs. And how slowly can you lower on the exhale? Walking the hands around, skandasana on the left. And then lifting out of the pelvic floor, walking your hands over, skandasana on the right. And then continuing to walk them around back towards the top of the mat. Inhale, modified pyramid, hold for the exhale. Inhale, left hand planted, right hand skyward. With the exhale, fallen lunge. Inhale, pressing through the points of contact, lifting the hips away from the ground. With the exhale, option for Ekapada Chaturanga, three-legged Chaturanga. We'll all meet back in downward facing dog. 3 full breaths this time. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Inhale, three-legged. Exhale, knee to nose, hold for the inhale. Exhale, planting the foot between the hands. Inhale here. And exhale, modified pyramid. Inhale, walking the hands forward, coming into standing splits. One more inhale here. Exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale, L shape with the legs. And same as before, we'll swing that left leg through, coming all the way up to standing. Figure 4 with the legs, left ankle crosses on top of right thigh, sinking the hips back. One breath here. Inhale, left knee towards the heart. With the exhale, standing splits. Inhale, kicking that left heel even closer towards the sky. Exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale, L shape with the legs. And with the exhale, different this time, we'll kick that left foot around to the side, landing it at the top of the mat. Walking the feet out to the edges of the mat, sinking our hips down, coming into malasana. Yogi squat. And so here you can use your elbows sort of as leverage to keep pressing them open. Continue to breathe. Here maybe you want to close down your eyes, return to your breath if you've lost it. Nice long spine, lifting out of the pelvic floor, really pressing through the feet. We'll lift all the way up to standing, pointing the toes forward, releasing the hands to the low back. We'll inhale, lifting the heart, releasing the top of the hips. Exhale, takes you to Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, L shape with the legs, left foot extends behind us. Exhale, how slow can you lower it? Walking the hands around, skandasana. Once again, engaging through the pelvic floor. Inhale, we'll come up this time through goddess.
So really sinking low through the hips and lifting out of the pelvic floor. Just staying here one more breath. With the exhale, hips sink towards the left, skandasana, walking them towards the back of the mat. Inhale, modified pyramid, and exhale, we hold here. Inhale, right hand plants, left hand lifts towards the sky, revolving the heart, and with the exhale, fallen lunge. Inhale, hips lift away from the mat, and with the exhale, your vinyasa will all meet back in downward facing dog. Two breaths here, one for the right side, one for the left side. Inhale, left leg towards the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Inhale, three-legged. Exhale, knee to nose. Hold for the inhale. Exhale, planting that foot. Inhale, hips sink forward and through. Exhale, modified pyramid, nice long spine. Left hip is glued back by the right. Inhale, bending through the left knee, walking the hands forward. Exhale, standing splits. Right heel draws skyward. Inhale here. Exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale, L shape with the legs. The exhale will bring us all the way up to standing, right knee towards the heart. Inhale here. Exhale, standing figure four, hips sink back. One breath here. Inhale, back up through stork pose. Exhale, standing splits. Inhale here. Exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale, kicking back, L shape with the legs. This is again where it gets different. With the exhale, we'll extend that right leg out towards the right side, releasing it down by the left, walking the feet out, and then sinking the hips, coming into malasana, yogi squat. Again, knees are pointing outwards, the spine is nice and long, energy is extending all the way through the crown of the head. Really using the pelvic floor here to lift us all the way up to standing. Toes point forward, hands release to the sacrum. Inhale, opening the top of the hips. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Planting the hands, inhale, right leg, supported warrior three. With the exhale, how slowly can you lower it? Walking the hands around, left skandasana. Then again, using the pelvic floor to bring us up through goddess. Knees continuing to track over the toes. You might need to adjust your feet slightly. And then can you sink your hips 1 inch lower? We'll stay here 2 more breaths if you want to explore coming on to those toes. Little extra balance. Lowering them down, sinking the hips over towards the right side, skandasana. Continuing to walk them around towards the front of the mat. Inhale, modified pyramid. Hold for the exhale.
Inhale, right hand towards the sky. Exhale, fallen lunge. Inhale, hips lift away from the mat. And exhale, one final vinyasa. All meeting back in downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana, whenever you're ready. Inhale, three-legged dog, right leg towards the sky. Exhale, we'll come into pigeon, Kapotasana. So right knee towards that right wrist. Left leg extended long behind, maybe taking a peek to make sure that it's all in one line. Sometimes the leg likes to move off towards the side. If your hips are lifted really far away from the mat, you can place a book or a blanket or a yoga block, whatever you have, underneath the hips to bring the ground a little bit closer to you. And if you want further sensation, you can continue walking that left foot forward so that it be in line with that right knee. Either staying here or inhaling, growing nice and tall through the spine. And with the exhale, walking the hands forward, maybe coming onto your forearms or all the way onto your forehead. Resting here, seeing if you can find a moment of stillness, noticing whatever you notice, being curious. We'll inhale, coming back up through pigeon, tucking onto the toes, stepping back, downward facing dog. If you want to take any little movements with that right leg, you can go ahead and do so. Then when you're ready, we'll inhale the left leg skyward and exhale, coming into pigeon on the left. Again, taking a little peek, making sure that the foot is still in line with the hip. Continuing to breathe. We'll inhale, grow nice and tall through the spine. With the exhale, walking the hands forward, maybe resting on forearms, or crossing one hand on top of the other, letting your forehead rest. Wherever you are, continue to breathe, letting your breath slow down. We'll inhale, coming back up through pigeon and tucking the right toes. We'll step back, downward facing dog. Again, if you want to take any little movements on the left leg, you can feel free to do so. Coming back through downward facing dog, we'll inhale, ripple forward through the spine. Exhale, lowering onto the knees, untucking the toes. Swinging your feet around, we'll come into a seated wide-legged forward fold. So if you'd like to face the long edge of your mat, you can go ahead and do so. Taking the legs out to either side.
If you notice that your knees or your feet start turning in, maybe back off just a little bit. We want to open through the hips. So that means that our knees and our feet will continue pointing skyward. Otherwise, you can continue to pull your hips through. Ultimately, the hips and knees and ankles would sort of make a straight line. Wherever you are, inhale, grow nice and tall through the spine. And with the exhale, maybe begin walking the hands forward. Maybe coming onto the forearms. Or maybe all the way onto the forehead, letting the whole upper body drape over. It's okay if this is a more passive posture, so long as those hips stay open. So you can let your spine round, you can let your head hang heavy. You can let the feet be relaxed. The next inhale, we'll walk our hands back up. And with the exhale, closing the legs together, we'll come into one final seated posture, Paschimottanasana, or seated forward fold, so legs long in front. Maybe removing the flesh away from the sits bones. Growing nice and tall through the spine with the inhale. With the exhale, walking your hands forward. And then when you notice your spine start to round, you can go ahead and let your whole upper body drape over the thighs. Inhale, coming back up. With the exhale, we'll make our way onto our backs, lowering all the way down, hugging the knees in towards the heart, giving a little rock from side to side. We'll come into happy baby. So knees are drawing towards the armpits. You can grab on underneath the thighs, the calves, or maybe using the peace fingers to hold on to the big toes. The whole spine is nice and long on the mat, so if you notice your shoulders or your sacrum rounding off of the mat, again, just back off a little bit. We want our whole spine to be in contact with the ground. Maybe rocking from side to side here, or you can play with straightening one or both legs. Or be in stillness. Gently releasing that. Hugging the knees in, giving one final little rock from side to side. The next inhale, we'll lift our forehead up towards our knees, hugging everything in. Can you sip in one more bit of air? Holding your breath at the top. When you can no longer hold your breath, exhale releases you into final Shavasana. If there are any other movements that you want to take, feel free to take them. Otherwise, letting your legs be nice and long on the mat, arms nice and long by the side. If it
feels comfortable, you can close down the eyes or soften the gaze. Let your whole body get nice and heavy. Let your breath be nice and heavy. Relax the muscles of the face. Release the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Letting yourself notice if you feel any different than you did at the beginning of the practice. It's okay if you don't, but if you do, notice what feels different, where it feels different, and returning to this idea of being curious about it, having a sense of non-judgment towards it. And then letting that go and giving yourself this gift of rest. There can sometimes be a temptation, especially through these virtual classes, to sort of log off or X out early and skip Shavasana and just get on with the day or evening. But I invite you to really take this time for yourself. This is one of the most important parts of this movement practice. Shavasana gives time for things to integrate everything that we worked on in this class. By giving ourselves this gift of rest, our body, our mind, our spirit, everything is able to integrate and receive. I invite you to stay in Shavasana for as long as you'd like or as long as feels good. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope to see you soon.